अस्सलामुअलैकुम ख़वातीनो हज़रात, वेलकम बैक टू रेडियो लम्स। मैं हूँ आपकी होस्ट एक बार फिर खदीजा मुनव्वर एंड आपको इस शो में खुशामदीद। आई होप सो फार जितने भी एपिसोड्स आए हैं, ऑल द प्रीसीडिंग एपिसोड्स यू गाइस हैव बीन वाचिंग बिकॉज ऑल ऑफ देम हैव यूनिक इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट यू विल लर्न फ्रॉम। And for today's guest, we have a very charismatic individual that I'm sure will have many interesting things to say. So welcome to the show, Mohit.
Thank you for having me.
So firstly, for our audience, I would want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm a law school major. I'm graduating this year. And I suppose the reason I'm here is because I've been awarded the National Management Foundation Silver Medal for the second highest GPA across slums, across the undergraduate program.
Yeah.
So a bit about myself, I think what could help other people. At LUMS, I've been the General Secretary of the LUMS Law and Politics Society. I've served on the editorial board of the LUMS Law Journal. So essentially, I know a lot about the law school. Also, especially within the legal fraternity, I've served as a clerk to Justice Mansoor Ali Shah, the Supreme Court. He's the next Chief Justice. And there are other things that I think could be of interest to the people. So I've been a Rhodes finalist. I've also worked with a lot of NGOs, climate think tanks, things of that sort.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to unpack over here in terms of the things that you've done. But initially, because this show is about high achievers, I want to know what was your reaction when you found out that you were winning an award?
Actually, so I didn't really expect this award, at least, because this is across slums, second highest. I was really happy. Actually, I was out for coffee with a friend. So I saw the email. I thought, lag nahi raha tha because I was third across slums in the first 5 years. So aakhri saal mein second ho jaye, a bit of a pleasant surprise, I think.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people aim, in some capacity कि अपने final year में हमारी ये achievement होनी चाहिए. So since first year, I know a lot of people stress on GPA as well. Was it something that was stressful to you? I have to keep up with this, and how do I go about making sure that my grades stay intact?
Actually, I think firstly we need to debunk a myth over here. GPA wise, I think a lot of people say that the GPA matters a lot. GPA doesn't really matter as much as you'd think. Now I'm talking in terms of broader human success. GPA is only one facet of that. What really matters, and what I always tell my little brother as well, he's a SOF also at LUMS, what matters is work ethic. Work ethic will take you anywhere around the world. GPA will only get you through the door, give you the first opportunity. So that's what matters the most, work
Definitely.
ethic.
So I do think it's a prerequisite to then achieving these things, right? So for some people who haven't perhaps done extracurricular, their first goal is कि अच्छा GPA तो अच्छा होना चाहिए, and then beyond that I can work in extracurriculars. Would you say that is not the correct approach? Maybe you should work with things simultaneously.
So at the end of the day, it depends on your goals. So for me, at least when I entered LUMS, I wanted to be at the top of the class. So then I had some idea कि try करना है कि I get a 4.2. So for that, you then have to break down the system. You need to understand how it works. आपको पता होना चाहिए कि अगर इतने credit hours हैं, इतने के अंदर मैंने इतना अगर perform करता हूँ, ये components हैं, तो मुझे grade आ जाएगा, A आ जाएगा. So the GPA itself does matter in the sense that, as I said, it will give you the first opportunity to get through the door. And that is something that people should aspire to get a good job, to get a good admission into a postgraduate degree. It's very necessary to have good GPA, but then again, it's not end all be all. We know people, even this, for instance, Professor Marwa Khan, she went to Harvard, and she'll tell you that the GPA doesn't really matter as much as other things do matter, like co-curriculars. So when I mention the LUMS Law and Politics Society, or when I mention the LUMS Law Journal, or when I mention clerking with a Justice of the Supreme Court, these things I think put you on the map as much as a GPA would. Now that is something that anyone can aspire to regardless of what your academic confidence is, and that is something that should also be given due weightage in all of this discussion.
So okay, a lot of people want to get into activities, they don't know where to start from, and you've spoken of a few. So some are centered to LUMS and then some are external as well. So firstly, I want you to speak a bit about the internal activities that you did in terms of societies that you joined. Because I know जब हम enter करते हैं तो we enter as team members, or a lot of people aim कि अच्छा eventually जब मैं 4th year में पहुंच गया, eventually at some point I want to have more influence over the society in the way that I shape it, or how it's just carried out. So they want to be in the EC. So how did you go from being a team member to the general secretary of LPS?
So essentially, when we joined LUMS as a freshman, there were orientations, and you then go to the societies you want to go to. And when I started, I knew that the LUMS Law and Politics Society was something I wanted to be at, especially also because some of my seniors from school were within the LPS. So you go to their interviews, you give their interviews, you join a good department. I was allocated to the External Relations Department, which fortunately was a very good thing because I'm a bit of an extrovert. So over time, and also there were seniors who helped me. journey. And over time, you then grow up the ranks. The prerequisite again is only work. If you can put in the work, if you can put in the hours, if you can be essentially the only person that shows up when no one shows up, that is what will matter at the end of the day. Now, if you, a good example that my father gives, when you join a job, if you put in so many hours, if you come in at 8 a.m. and you leave the office at 2 and you do this for 6 months, eventually people will believe that you're always at the office. So what you do down the line, whether that's 1 year or 2 years down the line, it won't matter because people will believe that you will show up when no one else will show up. And that is essentially what I did. At least that's, I think, what I did. And the same goes for any other thing, whether that was the LUMS Law Journal or whether that was other extracurricular activities beyond LUMS. If you have a work ethic and you build a reputation, then people trust you with that. And that gives you the opportunities that are necessary to success.
So I think for a work ethic, it's very important that you time management be seekhen. Because as you mentioned, you had done a lot of things simultaneously, right? So you were doing well in your courses as well. You were doing participating in many societies as well. So how did you manage that time? How did you know कि अच्छा अब इतना जो मैंने effort है इस चीज़ में I have to put in और इतना time मैंने अपने courses में डालना है?
Achha, so essentially you have to make a to-do list. I think that's what I do. I have my phone, I have a notes app. So what I do at least is when I get a new course at the start of the semester, I know what components matter within that course. So for instance, something that I've seen people lack in is class participation.
Okay, so you were speaking a lot of doing different activities, and I think some people struggle with this. कि time management बहुत important होती है. If you are taking on your course load and you're also doing multiple different societies and you're participating in them, you need to make sure that you're doing justice to all of them. So how did you ensure that?
Achha, so my strategy has been the same, whether that's year 1 at LUMS or year 5. I essentially have the notes app within my phone and I make a to-do list. So what I need to do and what is the deadline for that deliverable. And then you treat that as something, whether that's high priority or low priority, and you deal with that in that flow. People assume that when you're doing a lot of stuff for your academics or for your CV that it's too much and it can't be handled, but that isn't really the problem. The real problem is only prioritizing all of that. And that can be done if you have a good to-do list, and that served me well. So one of the major problems that I've seen people struggle with, and few people realize this at LUMS, is that class participation is very important. And that is essentially the make or break for your grade at LUMS. So whether that's 15% or whether that's 25%, that will matter much more at the end of the day for your grade than any other thing. And that is something that cannot be, for instance, then compressed into time management problems. So that is
Wouldn't you say that doesn't as much have to do with work ethic? Mostly, there's a lot of anxiety around class participation for some people. कुछ लोगों के लिए आसान होता है, वो कर लेते हैं. लेकिन maybe somebody is more introverted or maybe they're not as confident in their answer, तो इसलिए मुश्किल होता है.
So when I came into LUMS, I was a bit of an introvert, at least that's what I believe.
I find that hard to believe.
But what you have to do is that with each class, you have to push yourself. So whether that is day 1 or that's day 15, every day, for instance, something I believe, regardless of what emotional factor you wake up with, regardless of what physical factor you wake up with, you have to come to class and you have to deliver. You have to, essentially, to succeed, you have to put aside your emotions, you have to put aside your health, if that is possible. And then you have to come to class every day and you have to do that work every day. Now, speaking every day is very difficult. So 3-4 times a day is very difficult. That is what will essentially make or break your grade. And if you want something bad enough, you will put that work in. And that is what will separate people who succeed and people who do not succeed. Whether you put in that much work and whether you are okay with that much discomfort. And that is, I think, the lesson that is uniform across the board with most of everyone that succeeds.
I think I also personally resonate a lot with this as well. Since O-levels, I've tried to do a lot of extracurriculars. But one thing I noticed over here as well is कि especially in HSS वगैरह आपकी जो attendance होती है वो भी mark होती है, CP matter करती है, SSC में इतनी नहीं करती. तो उस situation में, like for example, my experience in spring was I got extremely sick suddenly, and of course I had to or obviously miss classes and take a leave, and I got a petition and everything. But that does put you back because हर दिन के लिए आपने इतनी चीजें schedule की होती है कि आज मैंने ये चीजें करनी है. तो have you ever faced something like that where you had to take a break and then you felt like, okay, there's a lot of work that's just piled up. So how did you cover that?
So I fortunately I think, or maybe with most of my problems, I haven't really had to take a longer break. But I have suffered from, for instance, COVID, with other health issues, or with emotional issues as well. With LUMS, you never know what someone is going through.
Yeah.
Because there are romantic issues also involved, with people underplay, but that I think at the end of the day plays a big part as well. But you essentially have to put those things aside. And oftentimes, you have to come to class even if you have 1 or 2 fever. So I've done that. I've taken ATM classes with a fever, a high fever. I think that is something that will set people apart also. And that is something that I don't really advise, because that won't work for everyone.
Yeah.
But if you want something bad enough, you will do that.
So you just push through whenever you have
I try to push through, and not to be vain, because obviously there's a difference in the sense that I've been fortunate enough that I haven't had to face those problems when I've had to take a week or 2 weeks off. And some people do have to face that, but then you just have to catch up. And that is something that is difficult for other people and easier for some people. And that is just human nature at the end of the day. And if you take a hit, and that is very normal to take a hit, whether that's with your GP or with the co-curriculars or just physically, emotionally, you just soldier through. You need to realize that what is spilled cannot be put back into the glass. So you need to just soldier through and then look at what is in front of you. And that will essentially matter, what is in front of you. Previous days don't matter, the future will matter.
Yeah.
And that is what will set people apart. People who dwell in the future, people who live in the dwell in the past, people who live in the future.
So you talk a lot about future and how it is important to plan and work for it. So जब आपने apply किया for GenSec or any of the promotions in societies, did you have a certain idea कि ये चीजें मैंने change करनी है, or I think this is something I can bring to the society? So what were those things? What did you do in your tenure?
Achha, so one of the major problems that one of the major issues that people need to realize is that when you come into a job, and I say this every time, when you take on a job, you need to serve it well.
Yeah.
So whether that's a student council, whether that is any society, come into a job if you can serve the people with that job. If you cannot, then probably don't run elections or don't apply for EC positions, because that is a disservice to society, also to the general public. So when I applied for LPS, I wanted a good position in the EC, and fortunately I was given that because I had put in the work. Now, one of the issues with the LPS is, and one of its major contributions is, that it is one of the most important societies to push discourse within LUMS, whether that is legal discourse, social discourse, and political discourse, obviously. And that is something we focused on very much. So when I came into office at LPS, we were essentially reeling from COVID. And our semester, the year I was General Secretary, was essentially the year that it essentially became normal, that we had a normal function in campus. So we wanted more and more events, and those were more and more legal events, political events, social events, also economic events, because Pakistan is reeling and was then also reeling from an economic crisis. We wanted people to think about these problems and then to present solutions. So we wanted people to come from outside LUMS to present those solutions, whether those were ministers, senators, members of parliament, top bureaucrats, also economic finance people, think tanks, everything under the sun that can serve people well, to think deeply and to think deeply about the problems facing Pakistan and LUMS. That is essentially what we did at LPS, and I think that we did it well, and we set a good precedent. And then when you select the next EC, you select people that will do the same thing, they will do it even better than you, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that sort of determination is very, very important. So, obviously you've spoken of the things you've done within LUMS. You were earlier speaking of the fact that you worked in the Supreme Court as well. So how did you get that opportunity? What was the experience like? What did it demand of you?
So essentially, I've clerked with Justice Mansoor Ali Shah of the Supreme Court, and he's becoming the next Chief Justice of Pakistan.
Wow.
So Justice Shah is known for his very, I think, forward-looking jurisprudence.
Right.
And that was the reason that I chose Justice Shah to work with him, and that is an opportunity that most people don't get.
Definitely.
So within the LUMS batch, I was also the only student to have clerked with the Supreme Court Justice. So I did apply. I sent him my CV over email. I sent it to his principal secretary. And after that, people have also asked me for those emails, and I've provided people with those emails. Essentially, he looked at my CV. I think he liked it in some sense, I hope. And then I went to Islamabad. I live in Lahore, so I went to Islamabad. I spent 2 months over there. We worked on many important cases, so I assisted him in many cases. At that point, Pakistan was dealing with, the Supreme Court was hearing the military trials, the validity of military trials of civilians. That was one case we dealt with. Now, essentially, I'm only a clerk, so I don't really contribute as much as other people. There are also judicial clerks that serve for a 1-year tenure. This was a summer clerkship. We also dealt with conferences that Justice Shah was going to go speak at, whether that was in New York, at Yale, in Boston, even at over in LUMS, on local governments. So those sort of things. And then daily court hearings. So you go to court, you take down notes of what's happened, what important cases the court is dealing with, and things of that sort. And then the rest of it is just socialization, to meet good people and to make good bonds. And that is something that will serve you well in the long run. Because law is the sort of topic that very much, law and politics essentially flourishes with networking.
So how did you find out about the opportunity, or that applications are open?
So there weren't really any applications. This is not a formal process, which is why I say that I was the only one to have Samar clerked with him. So I essentially took a shot. And I say this with everything. Take a shot. What's the worst that can happen? You'll fail. And if you don't take a shot, you'll fail still. So it's better to take a shot and to try. And essentially, with if you take 100 opportunities and you apply, for instance, with all 100 of them, and you succeed in at least one of them, then you'll have something. And that matters at the end of the day. And with me, it's been about luck all of the way. Because I believe that hard work only gets you so far. The rest of it is God and good luck. And that matters very much. And in my case, that mattered a lot.
Would you say all of this experience helped you in your education itself? So in your classes? Of course, even for CP, या फिर आप कुछ thesis लिख रहे हैं, कुछ भी लिख रहे हैं, उसके लिए आपको कुछ practical experience या insight चाहिए होती है. So how did that help you?
Acha, I think that when you work with essentially people who are so senior with such well-developed thinking, you develop good ideas. So for instance, when I worked with Justice Shah, I dealt a little bit with arbitration work, and he recommended a book. And I essentially read that book. It developed an interest for me, at least. When I was applying to university for postgraduate programs, so I developed my personal statement around a lot of the ideas that I saw at the Supreme Court and the issues that I saw, and then other cases that the court had dealt with in the past. And that statement then helped me get into a good university. So I got into Oxford for the BCL.
Wow.
And I wasn't even applying for the BCL, essentially because they don't take people unless you have at least 5-6 years of experience. And from what I know, I'm the first person from LUMS to get into the BCL.
Congratulations.
So when I applied, I wasn't really planning on applying. I went to my Professor Asim Zulfikar. He taught me tax law. I went to him for a recommendation for another program. And उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि मैंने कैसे इस वाले में अप्लाई करना है. मुझे कहते हैं कि इस वाले में अप्लाई करना, दूसरा कोई और उसमें भी कर दे. जिसमें मैं अप्लाई करा था, इट वाज एन ईजियर कोर्स. मैंने कहा इसमें हो जाएगा. कहते इस वाले में भी अप्लाई कर दे. मैंने कहा सर भेज देते तो अप्लाई कर देता हूँ, दाखिला नहीं होना. लेकिन उन्होंने कर दो. मैंने भेजा, दाखिला हो गया. और very surprising, which is why I say luck matters a lot more. And these are chances that you take, and you have to take these chances.
So, do you think it's very important to also build bonds with your professors or go to them for opportunities? Because some people also feel anxious reaching out to them, even though it's a resource available.
So I think it really depends on your temperament. Some people like to go to professors and some people don't, and that's completely fine. So with me, whenever I've developed a bond with a professor, it's mostly because I relate with them not on a professor-student level, but generally on a human level. So we agree on things that I find interesting, and that is why I develop bond with professors. And that I think is much more robust than to say कि ये professor हैं and then I'll go to them for opportunities. वो तो आप चले जाएंगे, but they also know that you're here for only those opportunities. So when you build a bond that is more robust, they will offer you those opportunities, but you will also have fun with all of it. Also with, I think, a better conscience at the end of the day.
So earlier you spoke of a book that you read. One of my questions was, is there any book that you've read here at LUMS? Ab aapne apni experience se bola hai. So you can talk about that as well. But something that you read which you felt like was life-changing. So for example, for me, I took a course, Nature, Power, Modernity. And we read Ideas of Nature by Raymond Williams. And I feel like that was one reading that I have used a lot in other courses, since. So is there something that has stuck with you and you think everybody should read?
Achha, so then we'll have to break it down into fiction and non-fiction. Because when I read for either interest or for learning. And so for instance, I'll give an example. I did an independent study with Professor Baqir Sayyid. That was basically a book called Kitab al-Tawasin. It's a Farsi book by Mansoor Halaj. It is centered around the idea of divinity, of Wahdatul Wujud. and we didn't independent study of that book. It's in Arabic, so we read it in Arabic, in Farsi, and then also in English. And then I wrote a paper on that book. So that is something, for instance, that stuck with me mostly because I have an interest within Sufism, within Wahdatul Wujud, and that is something that interested me. But then, if I want to talk about fiction, one book I really like is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. That is again a book about finding God, about finding peace. And that, I think, even though it's fiction, it stuck with me at a young age. And when you read fiction, I always say, when you read any sort of book, try to take good lessons from it, not only in the sense that whether that's academic or whether that's self-learning, but also in the spiritual sense, because those things will define you when you're much older. That will matter.
Yeah. Okay, now we will play a short game of this or that. Okay, and you have to just select something that you feel is better. So do you think an in-class timed exam is better or a take-home exam?
Achha, so I think it depends on your preference. So with me, I prefer in-timed exams mostly because I can prepare a day before and then the exam will be done in 3 hours, and that's better.
Definitely. Okay, so in terms of eateries, Jamin or Fusion?
Oh, I think Fusion probably.
Do you like to have attendance or no attendance?
I don't really care, honestly, because I will come to class regardless.
Some people don't, so they're like, I'd rather be forced into attendance, like me.
Achha, nahi, if it's about forcing me to pay no attendance, I
Achha.
want to have the option to come or not to come.
Okay, choice honi chahiye.
I don't like people to force me. I've been in that way. You force me, I won't come.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, that's all I have. So it's just 3 questions.
Okay.
Moving back to the interview itself, if you had to record a message for your friends here that you made at LUMS, what would you say to them?
So, I made a lot of good friends at LUMS, and essentially I owe a lot of my success to my friends. And some people, I won't name people, but they know who they are. And even with the medal, I've joked that people deserve it more than I do. So people and my friends, they've essentially helped me through emotional turmoil, with academic issues, with anything under the sun. And I think I'm very thankful for all of that. And for the future, I wish all of them success. But one thing I do want to say, that at the end of the day, work matters more than anything else. If you want to be successful, you have to put in the hours. And that is one logical truth that will benefit you and will stick with you. And I think just work hard and stay happy.
That's very sweet. Okay, so did you have any senior year bucket list कि ये चीजें मैंने करनी ही करनी है? और कुछ लोगों के लिए academic wise भी बहुत मुश्किल होता है senior year, तो वो पहले से plan करते हैं कि अच्छा ये चीजें मैं पहले कर लेता हूँ ताकि eventually आसान हो. तो how do you plan for senior year?
अच्छा, मेरा academic bucket list कोई नहीं थी, because वो मैंने पहले साल बना ली थी कि मैंने ये काम करने, so it was a 10-12 pointer list, ये काम करने हैं. वो you do that throughout LUMS, उस point भी नहीं होता. So senior, super senior, because मेरी 5 साल की डिग्री थी, that was mostly just social things or other maybe co-curricular things, but mostly things to do with your friends. Because then you realize that this is ending, and matlab better to go out with a bang.
How are you coping with that? All of it ending.
I think it's okay. Mostly because there's emotional issues. Obviously, as LUMS end with most people, there are emotional issues. But other than that, I think I'm doing fine. Because you have to just realize that all things come to an end. And when things come to an end, life makes way for better things. And if you were stuck in this loop, you wouldn't really get anywhere, would be.
It's a very positive outlook, but I think कुछ लोगों के लिए मुश्किल भी होता है.
मुश्किल होता है.
But अच्छा, I think a lot of people would be interested in knowing कि future plans क्या हैं, because some people are considering कि तो job करनी चाहिए, masters करना चाहिए. So what did you decide? How did you decide?
So essentially, with me, I have job offers, and I also applied to postgraduate programs. So like I said, I got into Oxford. So whether I'll go or not will essentially depend on whether I get funding, and that's going to be decided in a month or so. So that is either go for a master's program or go for a job. And I think with most people, that's usually the choice you face. Or with a lot of my friends, they're also giving the CSS exam. So these choices, I think these really depend on luck and really depend on your work. And I've been fortunate in all of that. So I'm hoping that at the end of the day, we'll see a positive outcome.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for people who are planning to apply?
Achha. So with most things, I do believe that when you're applying for masters and with any other program, you need to have a good idea. So people see through superficiality. So for instance, when I give my example, when I applied for university, I really gave them an idea which dealt with Pakistan's issues. So for instance, what I did was that I gave a problem centered around international arbitration. So Pakistan has a lot of natural resources, and we've never really exploited those resources. And the only times we have had contracts, they've failed miserably. So we've had bilateral investment treaties with a lot of countries, but most of them we've had legal cases against those contracts. And that was something I centered my argument around. So whether that was Reko-Dik or Sendak, or whether that was the Indus Water Treaty or other things, Pakistan, for instance, has a gas issue. We had a supply agreement with Indian Gunboat. They breached that contract, and that essentially had a lot of the problems we faced with gas नहीं आ रही was partly because of that. Because 5 साल के वो contract था सही तरह नहीं हुआ. ये पानी का जो issue है, Indus Water Treaty, water scarcity, it's up for debate at the Permanent Court of Arbitration. So
ये आपने narrow down कैसे किया था? Because there's a lot of issues that exist, right? तो लोगों को समझ नहीं आती तो choose कैसे करें? Did you have personal experience या what was it?
I think when inspiration hits, it hits. तो मैंने पहली जो personal statement लिखी थी, I applied for the Rhodes Scholarship, और मैंने महीना सोचा, मैंने क्या लिखना, महीने में मुझे कुछ नहीं आया. मैंने कहा मैंने अब नहीं लिखना. डेडलाइन थी 1 अगस्त की या शायद 30 अगस्त, समथिंग अराउंड दैट. मैंने 3 दिन पहले सोचा अब लिखने बैठते हैं. तब मैंने I wrote that statement in 6 hours. So when inspiration hits, it hits, and then if it clicks, it clicks.
Yeah.
So that is something that has to do with whether you're good under pressure or not, or luck वगैरह. लेकिन these things, your life experience contributes to all of that.
Yeah.
I was aware of those problems. That's why I could weave together a story. So what is very important is to read books, to read what is happening in the world, to be aware of what is happening in the world, to be aware of problems. So right now Pakistan is facing a big problem in the sense that people leave this country. A lot of people don't have faith in this country.
Yeah.
And within LUMS or within outside LUMS, people want to leave. Even with our friends, very talented people who got into Ivy League schools, they want jobs abroad. What I at least believe is that if you want a better future for you and for your children, you'll have to fix the problems that face this country. And fix the problems that face society at large.
Yeah.
To do that, you will have to be aware of those problems, and to do that, you will have to think about those problems. Now, these are very difficult issues, and what essentially will matter at the end of the day is whether there are enough people who bond together, who essentially team together to fix these issues. And so, whether Pakistan will succeed or not, or whether society will succeed or not, will essentially depend on whether enough people team together to face these problems. Now, these solutions are not easy. So, for instance, we see populism around the world, and populism is essentially people presenting easy answers to difficult problems.
Yeah.
And that is something that Pakistan and also the world needs to realize, that with difficult issues, we need people who can deal with these difficult problems. And with this, we need patience, and we need people who want to stay within this country and to serve it. I always believe you will always fail if you do not try.
Yeah.
And we will, as a society, always fail if we do not try. So if you want to leave this country, that is your choice. But if you want to serve, then I urge you to please serve. Because people
How do you tackle awareness? Because a lot of people, obviously, the way that you are born into maybe, a certain class, या फिर आप एक bubble में होते हो, when you grow up that way, you can know of issues, but not necessarily understand कि वो किस तरह की हैं. और जाहिर है एक reform लाने के लिए आपको पता होना चाहिए कि वो मसला क्या था, कि आप उसका solution भी सही लाएं जो लोगों को actually फायदा दे.
So,
how do you do that?
So essentially, with me, I'm not from very rich family. Generationally, we're very rich. We're from at partition we came from India. We come from very normal spiritual family, and what I believe that what set our family apart is really hard work. And when you talk about problems, to know about the problems that face this country, you can only know about problems if you face those problems, or you actually go out of your way to learn about those problems.
Yeah.
I've traveled across Pakistan. I've seen Lahore, I've seen urban Punjab, I've seen rural Punjab, I've seen South Punjab, Quetta, Peshawar, essentially all of Balochistan, and a lot of the Fata Waziristan area also. So when you go to those areas, and I went to these areas because of the nature of my father's job, you realize that these issues are the issues that we face within Lahore. These are not issues.
Yeah.
This is nothing.
Definitely.
What you face within LUMS, and I tell this to my friends also, this is no issue.
Yeah.
What people face, so for instance, Pakistan had flooding in 2022. लोगों के मकान कच्चे हैं, कोयटा के और सारे के सारे एरिया में, योब हो गया, लोरालाई हो गया, सारे कच्चे मकान में रहते हैं. जब इस तरह के एरिया में सैलाब आते हैं, जब फ्लडिंग होती है, मकान सारे बह जाते हैं पानी के साथ. Those are problems. We need people to deal with those problems and people to actually go to those areas and then see how to solve these problems.
और जिसका privilege है वो use करे उसको.
उस privilege को use करे. If you've gotten into Oxford, if you've gotten into Harvard, please come back to this country, serve the country, serve your people. These are poor people who need you. You can serve yourself. मतलब आपको नौकरी मिल जाएगी, $2 लाख की नौकरी मिल जाएगी. LV के बैग लेने, Gucci के लेने, जिसके लेने ले लें. At the end of the day, if you cannot serve your fellow man, what good are you to society? That will matter a lot, and this is what religion teaches you. And something that one quote that stuck with me, Nietzsche once said, "I know of no better pursuit than the pursuit of the impossible." Please pursue the impossible, because that is what will matter. That will be your legacy to your life and to humanity. And when people say कि नहीं हो सकता, बड़े goals नहीं हो सकते, I say set big goals. Fail at it. It's better to fail at it than not try at all. And that is why I say that people who do have these talents, who do have these resources, should at least try. And within that trying, at some point, something will click and we will succeed. And that will be something that people will remember for generations.
और bigger goal के लिए आप effort भी ज़्यादा करेंगे.
ज़्यादा करेंगे, हमेशा ज़्यादा करेंगे. देखिए, लाइफ में कोई गोल होना चाहिए. With life you need purpose. आप नाम से ग्रेजुएट होने में क्या करना है? शादी करनी है, अपने पैसे कमाने हैं, अपने बच्चे करने हैं, और फिर हर एक ने किया है. All of humanity has done this. What will be your legacy to humanity?
You think the legacy is very important?
The legacy is very important because that is a life purpose. If you can serve one country, if you can serve, for instance, this is a country of between 220 to 240 million people. If you can even stretch out one person from poverty, then that is enough to serve humanity.
Definitely. So I think on that note, my last question would be, what advice do you have for all the people who are watching, who are maybe in the process of setting their goals? What do you want to say to them?
देखिए, लाइफ में एक ही चीज़ मैटर करती है, and I believe this thoroughly. Whether you find your purpose, whether that purpose is big and that purpose is small, that is for you to decide. But I urge you to set big life goals, to set goals that go beyond you, go beyond just us as individuals, that help people, whether those are poor people or people who are less fortunate than you. Because we as a society, especially Lams, we are very fortunate people. If we can do this, we can build a society that is much more harmonious, much more tolerant, much more has the money to deal with people that do not have the money to live a good life. And at the end of the day, if we pursue this impossible goal, and even if one person, even one of us succeeds at this, then I think that this podcast, all of this will be worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
That is what we should do.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. I think everything that you said had a lot of utility and it was definitely very inspirational. I feel very inspired and I think people learned a lot as well. So thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
For everybody watching at home, thank you for watching another episode where we speak to high achievers. I hope you guys learned. Allah Hafiz.